damaged goods. He's holding up so much money that they can't sign anybody good. They have to get picks, and they have to get young people cheap.
You don't just get rid of a franchise quarterback, though. I don't care if he's injured. We haven't seen him back from the injury. You don't just get rid of a franchise quarterback. This is coming from someone that is a Jets fan. So, you're not used to this. You had Romo, and now you have Dak. You're not used to quarterback hell.
Yes, I am. I had a quarterback who in 3 seasons played half a season.
No, it's still not the same. Still not McCown and Fitzpatrick and...
No, but before Romo, I had Drew Henson or Quincy Carter. Oh, so the Cowboys went through it.
But they're not going to get burned again. They're not going to get burned again.
Luck will still, even when injured, is better than a bunch of quarterbacks in the league.
Not to mention, it'd be pretty ironic if they let Andrew Luck go on an injury now or trade him away when they let that happen to Peyton and he went and won another Super Bowl somewhere else.
And
I could watch Luck go somewhere else. They'll burn down the stadium in Indianapolis if that happens.
Luck isn't that young.
He's pretty young.
He's 28.
Yeah, that's young for a quarterback. He's got 10 good years left.
10 good years? No. Not coming back from the type of injury that he's got. It's the same type of injury that forced Peyton out.
It's not a neck injury. It's a shoulder injury.
Shoulder and neck are right next to each other.
But they're not the same area. And it's not like he's getting spinal surgery.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not to mention, the guy we're talking about came back and won a Super Bowl and made it to 2 after.
Okay, yeah, so he won a Super Bowl where he played absolutely awful.
If I'm the Colts, I might tank, and I use that tank to get offensive linemen. Because
there's no offensive linemen in this draft either.
Then you trade for next year's picks, or you trade down and just get an amalgamation of picks and get that young talent and surround them with that.
So then is it tank to get Saquon Barkley?
No, it's
because Frank Gore's going to be gone.
They could use a new running back, but they need a lineman.
A lot's got to change in there. First of all, the coach is probably not making it out of this.
Yeah, he needs to.
The biggest issue is that they gave Andrew Luck so much guaranteed money when they had guaranteed money already tied up in other players.
The owner of the Colts is not exactly the smartest one out there.
Yeah, that's
so.
Does anyone else want to see them get rid of a salary cap? I just want to see, buy whoever. Just do it. That's what I want to see.
That sounds terrifying.
Yes, in a way, but no, because I don't want the New England Patriots to end up just, they would be the ones to go out and Golden State themselves.
Yeah, they already did. They already have.
But there's still talent spread out wide enough. I feel like if you do that, you're going to see a lot of those collections. Of holy cow teams, and then a lot of really
big market teams just dominating.
Do you know who wasn't good enough to make that roster? Coney Ealy wasn't good enough to make the Patriots.
Well, okay.
They traded Jamie Collins.
That's because Jamie Collins said something to Bill Belichick, and he's like, "Oh yeah, word, you're going to the Browns." He's like, "That's what you get for popping off at the mouth."
All right,
right now, Sean Payton's thinking about doing it with Peterson.
He better. We got to move on. Yeah. Packers 17, Seahawks 9.
One of the better games.
No, it was terrible.
Seahawks, again, no offensive line.
Seahawks got screwed.
If you wanted a close one.
The Seahawks lost directly because of referees. Calling back an interception return for a touchdown on absolute phantom BS calls. That's directly swung the game.
But they're not as good as they should be because their line is in
their offense is in trouble though. Their defense got screwed on calls.
Yeah,
but that offense did them no
great,
favors.
But their offense, the line is very suspect.
If there was anything that ever told you that Todd Bowles needs to be fired, it's seeing Sheldon Richardson with the Jets and with the Seahawks. It was, oh my God. It was like, I've never seen Sheldon Richardson that good, that hungry. And he was Defensive Rookie of the Year. I've never seen him play that
He definitely had more motivation.
He's playing for something.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, yeah. Not to mention he went with a
and he was actually playing in position. Bowles kept playing him out of position, which is ridiculous. And he started to do that to
fattest linebacker in the NFL.
And I'm furious with it. That hurts his development. And I'm getting very close to being done with Bowles. I still like Mac.
I think McCagnon's garbage, and he needs to go too.
I'll keep Mac. He's okay so far. He's, let's see how these new draft picks pan out.
Nope, send him away. If I'm the Jets, if I'm Woody Johnson, first thing I am doing at the end of the season, I'm calling Bill Parcells. I want you to be my GM. And I am saying to him, you can pick whoever you want to be the head coach. Make sure it's someone who has a guy that they want at quarterback.
Well, Bill Parcells would jump at the chance just to be able to have the opportunity to throw it back into what's his face, Jerry.
Yeah,
he'd love that opportunity to be able to be like, look what I did with the Jets, and you kept saying it was you that did everything in Dallas. Well, now everyone knows the truth, because if he was to go in there, but yeah, the whole and it starts with. This is where I'm convinced, given everything that's happened with the Jets, I can understand the idea of tanking, completely get that. But the lack of player development and the lack of doing things that make sense is concerning from a coaching staff.
Jamal Adams is literally
he's a terrible game manager. He fails to adjust. He
takes no responsibility.
He refuses to take any risk. He's conservative to a fault when it comes to.
Although I would have punted too. I would have punted on that fourth down because I would trust
he's going to do that.
I would trust
my
defense much more than
predictable.
Yeah, but that's fine. But in the NFL, you can't always be that. Predictability will get you caught.
Exactly.
This is a league where you have to throw in some wrinkles. You have to do something.
Yeah,
different.
we didn't test downfield at all. It was dink and dunk and crappy run play.
Do you want to know the one thing that I think...
I give Fournette all the credit in the world because he still is running... Or Forte, he is still running hard, even though he clearly knows he's got nothing to run for.
the one thing that just blows my mind, you have a guy who played spread option in college as your backup quarterback, and you have a running back who, in Bilal Powell, who is pretty versatile. You're going to run a 2-point conversion, you don't run an option? Like, what? Get out of here.
Powell
pull a guard,
more
follow
too,
behind
Powell is talented, and he's just underutilized criminally. And he has been for years.
Pull a guard.
He's not elite or anything, but he's talented.
Pull the guard, he'll kick out the linebacker, and then you've got the option of either Bryce Petty walking it in or Bilal Powell walking it in.
Right.
You weren't playing an elite defense. You were playing the Bills. The boy I love losing Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So, the fact that he isn't being creative and taking those risks, which, by the way, I loved seeing Kansas City run those options.
Yeah, it was beautiful. You can
beautiful. You can tell Alex Smith did enough to keep his job, but they're changing
Alex
their
Smith
offense
plays a lot better when he's got a fire under his ass. He plays a lot better when there's someone
for what it's worth, Alex
biting
Smith
at his
has
heels.
always been pretty consistent. Alex Smith is he's not the quarterback you expect to win you a game. But that being said, he's not going to lose it for you either.
But look at his intensity when he's got someone nipping at his heels. He plays, in my opinion, he plays way better.
Letting Kelsey take direct snaps and fake throwing, loved it.
Yeah. I loved all the quick shovel passes to Kelsey. As a Kelsey owner in one of my leagues, I'm excited for his utilization going forward. Hunt and Hill have opened up the field. There's not going to be 2-on-1s every play on Kelsey. You can't afford that because Hill will burn you. Even
when he's double covered, he burns you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's wonderful. We got to move on. Panthers 23, 49ers 3. Did you expect anything different?
No. I'm surprised the 49ers even got a field goal.
Cowboys 19, Giants 3. Solid. Do need to note no Odell Beckham, but it wouldn't have changed it that much.
No, there's no line. That's today's theme is no offensive line. This is what happens.
Yeah, a lot of teams need to figure out communication and consistency on their O-line.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know, maybe they need to draft some D linemen and just convert them with the...
I mean, honestly...
There seems to be a lot more talent on the defensive line side than the offensive line side in the NFL.
The issue could have been fixed if they were smart and went with... What's his name? The tight end.
I bet, though, if you do that, that would have a lot more penalties on that because, trying to get used to that.
Maybe, I don't know. Someone was arguing for allowing holding, which was an interesting argument that I heard recently.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that being said, in the game you saw Eli. It happened early. The Dallas went out and they exposed.
He was terrified as soon as he got his first read.
Well, they exposed the line early, and then it was almost the same thing that the Giants did to Tom Brady in the Super Bowls. Got after him, made him feel the pressure early, and he never forgot about it as long as the game went on. That's
absolutely
exactly
the third play of the game of the Giants.
How do you target Brandon Marshall 3 times when Odell Beckham's not on the field? How does that happen? Because you don't have more than 2 seconds to get the route off.
Also, I think if that showed anything, Brandon Marshall did not care about that game. 2 of the 3 targets he quit. He didn't even try.
Wow.
And the one he did.
That being said, there was also Eli missed him twice. Once was way behind him, where he ran a perfect route. It was a late, basically a post route into the post, but it was more elongated and curved. And he had him. The only person that was there was the safety over the top, and he was behind him. If he hits him in stride, he goes up the sideline, possible touchdown, at least red zone. But Eli throws it behind him, and he's got to try and reach back.
Probably hurried the throw. Probably felt the pressure.
And that's definitely what I felt like happened. And then the other pass, he threw it over. How do you overthrow Brandon Marshall?
He's hard to overthrow.
But that being said,
put it
the one
up to
time
him and
he did make the catch.
Win it.
But the one time he did make the catch, it was a jump ball, and Brandon Marshall won it.
Yeah, I'll put Brandon Marshall up against any of the young quarterbacks right now for a jump ball. I'll put him up against anybody, and you got a 50-50.
Yeah, I mean,
there are some corners who could really fight with him.
I really think
Janoris Jenkins did a great job.
So good.
He is such an underrated cornerback in this league. Can we all admit that? He does not get enough credit.
If not for Justin Houston, I would think he'd be the defensive player of the year.
But I'm just saying, why is he so overlooked as a cornerback? Is it because he's
just
not
a corner,
flashy and he doesn't
it's because he's just a corner,
bring attention to himself like Josh Norman does?
Yeah, he's just like
he just goes out there and
he's just a shutdown
down every week.
He'll get the attention as that stays consistent. I think because
he's got great hair.
That's how Revis was. Revis was.
I love that hair.
Quiet and then the talent just shone through, and then he got paid. So that's probably what's going to happen with Jenkins.
No, hopefully.
Honestly, like I said, no, that's going to be a problem when it comes time to decide between paying Odell Beckham or paying Janoris Jenkins and Landon Collins.
Yeah,
that's going to be a problem.
The Giants have a couple of those problems going, and I have a feeling they're going to be like, all right, Eli, get out of here. We don't owe you any more money. Get out of here.
So, I think
Danny Woodhead has just been listed as out 6 to 8 weeks. Hamstring injury.
No surprise.
Yeah.
But
I drafted him late knowing that was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm glad I picked up West then.
Honestly, I think watching the Cowboys versus Giants, Cowboys defense looked pretty good. Super impressed with Jalen Smith. Kid's a monster. He is a monster.
Jalen Smith is a monster. I will give you that. I see where you were talking him up so much as you were. He made the Dallas Cowboys defense a whole. He elevates them when he's on the field.
Yeah. It's not just that. Like the difference between Byron Jones as a corner and Byron Jones as a safety, night and day. Chidobe Awuzie, boom! He's gonna be so good. So good. He was the one on Sterling Shepard the whole night. So good.
Yeah, and Shepard's not bad. He's not elite, but you know when you can limit him that much when he's pretty much the primary, then
Brown
right.
Brown with the interception. Cowboys didn't force turnovers much last year. They started the season with one.
Yeah.
So gotta be pretty pleased.
I want to see them against the Eagles, and I think that's gonna be a great matchup. I'm favoring the Cowboys, but and that's not next week or anything. But no. I think that's I think that's gonna be their real good test for.
Then we got
contention.
the 2 Monday night games. We got Vikings 29, Saints 19. It might be a problem between Sean Payton Adrian Peterson.
No, the Saints are just in trouble. They have